Hello everyone, welcome to the Worthit podcast.
Hello.
You know I've been recording this entire time.
Oh.
I've been recording for the past 15 minutes, so all those bloopers are going to be absolutely...
Oh, all those things you're going to hold against me later in my career.
Forever and ever and ever.
Those things that might be taken out of context and will get me fired from any job I have.
Yeah, correct.
Oh.
My name's Thomas. Nice to finally get this thing set up. I mean, I've had this podcast idea for about, I'd say a good 6-7 months now. I've always wanted to get it done. Never really had the kit or the time or the people to talk to.
But now you're here with me, JD Roberts.
Absolutely.
And now you'll never get rid of me because you let me in the company. I'm like a vampire. You let me in, and now I'll never leave.
Deal sealed forever and ever and ever.
This is it now.
Yeah.
Welcome to the rest of your life.
We should probably get married, shouldn't we?
Listen, you're a handsome guy.
Do not touch me. Ever again. Anyways, well, that's sorted. So I think we should really introduce the podcast properly and talk a little bit about it, I guess, whilst you take a huge swig of that
Ice water.
Beautiful ice water. You should have done it closer to the mic so we could have heard it.
Well, that's the thing. It's going to be weird now if it doesn't pick up. You're just mentioning my water.
Yeah, that's true. So the Worthit podcast, I guess it's going to be available on iTunes, on Spotify, SoundCloud, wherever we decide to put it in the end.
Wherever it'll take us.
Yeah, also on the YouTube channel. At the minute, it's not going to be a video podcast.
No. We don't have the funds for that. We're not rich enough.
No, actually, to be honest, we are just still building out the studio setup. So
hasn't even got a carpet in it yet.
Actually, development. As of last week, it has a carpet in it now.
Has it got a window yet?
No, it's not got a window.
It's just a gaping hole.
No window yet. So by the time we get back to actually putting the window in, it's going to be like a flood in there. It'll be raining sideways the entire winter. And
the sad part is you put the carpet in first. So if it does rain, that carpet's going to soak.
Yeah, absolutely. But on the positive side, at least we could potentially build a snowman if it actually snows in January or February.
Hey, happy first on-video podcast. Yeah. Here's our snowman because we didn't think to have a window.
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone's dressed up in like all their winter warms, big coats and scarves and stuff, and all the muffled voices trying to speak into the podcast. Yeah. So I mean, the studio is almost done. So as soon as that's done, we're going to have the video version of the podcast on YouTube. But for now, we're just going to see some nice logo and a little bit of wavy, bouncy things. Oscillation. Yeah,
maybe
oscillators.
Just a happy picture or something, you know.
A smiley face.
It's Christmas time, you know, just put a snowman on there as well while you're at it.
A smiley face snowman.
There you go.
Perfect, I guess. So this podcast is really meant to be about talking about films, but not in like a review sense as such. It's meant to be talking about the art of filmmaking, styles, directors, producers, editors,
behind the scenes, despite the fact we're not there.
we're sort of there.
The not behind the scenes, behind the scenes.
Yeah, absolutely. It's something I've always loved looking at personally. Whenever we get DVDs or Blu-rays or whatever, they always have that featurette section, don't they, where they look at the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I've always found that really interesting. So why not bring it as like a series to the YouTube channel? Something to do, I guess, whilst we're making films, because I'm always learning new techniques, new things. So I thought, well, why not teach other people as well at the same time? So whatever I learned that week, you guys can learn too.
Yeah. And also we can point out whenever we make something, we can just go, hey, you see that one scene? 5 days. 3 minutes of footage? 5 days. It's horrible.
Yeah, absolutely. We're trying to make as many short films as we can over the next year to try and build our portfolio for our company. So we can therefore pitch in for bigger projects.
We're thinking like 10 before we give a good pitch.
Yeah, a solid 10.
Yeah.
Make a nice show reel, I reckon, and pick all the beauty shots from there.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
build up a portfolio, you know, like as soon as you finish school, you just do free and volunteer work so that CV looks really nice, and then you get a paid job.
Absolutely. I mean, we sort of had to do that whilst we were at university when we had our 3 years. The whole idea was to build up your show reel for yourself. But that was the problem. I built it up for myself, so I was working with other people, I was working under different names and stuff, and never really made them worth it material. So, I need to make stuff that's worth its own. So 10.
Thomas Jones' CV looks great. Worth it CV? Nah.
Yeah, absolutely. And what's also nice is we then get to work with different people. Yeah. Different directors, different writers, different camera.
Well, that's how we met.
Exactly, yeah. So I met you working on Hunted, right?
Yeah.
So
mutual friend of ours.
Yeah. So we put out the casting call for Hunted, and Ella, a friend of mine, and a friend of yours as well, obviously, said, "Hey, why don't you get in touch with Tom and see what you can do?"
Yeah, and I sent you the most formal, not even an email, Facebook message possible because I thought, oh man, this guy's making a whole film on his own. Like he's a bigwig. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
And then I just get back yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah, I looked at that message and thought, what? How do I reply to that? How do I reply? It was so formal. Hello, sir. I'm sure it started with hello, sir.
I'm 90% sure it started with dear sir.
Perfect. On Facebook as well, which made it better. If it was like an email or a handwritten letter.
When was the last time you talked to someone on Facebook formally?
Yeah, I know. Right?
Email maybe, but not Facebook.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a little bit OCT, but we're here now.
I'm gonna make a tweet later and just make it the most formal letter.
Yeah,
just pitch it out to whoever's willing to read it.
Absolutely. So yeah, that's how we met. We worked on Hunted, and that was late last year, wasn't it? Actually, yes. It was the shoot days was January, February this year. Just gone. It was in the snow. Remember, just around the corner from here, actually, in the woods in the snow. That's
right, because we filmed a whole day, went home, and we'll see you tomorrow. And woke up about 5 a.m, looked out my window, and went, oh no, there's a blanket of snow.
Yeah.
Messaged you and just said, Tom, we've got a problem.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The set changed.
Completely changed. So we've always tried to, I guess, challenge ourselves at university anyway, and make films or content that's different every time. So, with this project, it was the first time I'd shot an action sequence or a fight sequence that we needed to choreograph. So we thought, okay, that's the development, that's the big bit. And getting up on that morning and seeing the snow, I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh. So not only are we fighting, we've not done that before, but we're also...
I remember you waking up, sending me a message at like 9 o'clock saying, all right, we're just going to have to cancel. Great. I just went about my day. I thought, I've got the day off. I can do whatever I want now.
Yeah.
And then I get a message 2 hours later that says, I've just been walking my dog. I'm at the set. It looks fantastic. Get to set now.
Yeah. Yeah. So I took made a few calls, and I called Paige and Jordan and said to him, look, what's it look like at Liverpool? They're like, it's not too bad. You can kind of get around on public transport. And I was like, fine, you're coming over here. It's sorted. Because it was like, the snow was heavy. And I was hoping that we knew that we needed 2 days to shoot because of the schedules for some people. Some people could only make it on the second day and so on and so forth. So we needed the 2 days. We had it split out quite fine. We didn't have that many pages to cover on both the days, shoot-wise. So we thought if we could get down and make sure we got all of this first day's shot, we just hope that it stayed as cold as it was on that day, overnight, so the snow was still there.
Because we had to refilm a whole day's worth of work.
Yeah.
And then just keep praying overnight, please don't melt.
Yeah. So I remember on the first day, it was raining, wasn't it? It was raining really, really heavy. So heavy that we cancelled the shoot halfway through the day, didn't we? We shot half the footage, cancelled it, went back and thought, this is not possible, it's too heavy. I remember that time
frozen over.
Yeah, I remember, because like we were trying to put the 35mm onto the camera, and as we were doing it, we had the umbrella over and we were still getting wet. I was doing it and I was like, the sensor's getting wet, I'm not happy, I'm gonna have to call it off. I looked up, and as I looked up, you four, who were obviously the cast at the time, were all stood huddled underneath this tiny umbrella, and like you're all getting like your shoulders wet, but your heads are staying still, and you looked absolutely
I'm a large
freezing.
Man, and then there's like tiny Lydia who was sat next to me, perfectly under. I was like, "Are you warm? Are you safe?" And she's like, "Yeah, no, I'm fine." I'm like, "Good, good."
And then I thought, nope, let's cancel it. Straight to the pub. Sod this. Yeah, I felt so bad that day. I brought Gareth from like North Wales.
Oh God, yeah.
He had a long journey ahead of him,
and he had to come back as well for like the rest of the shoot. And
he was so good.
Hats off to him, though. He kept to it.
Yeah, he was really good. Anyways, that's how we met, I guess. So I graduated from media production at John Moores University this year. So I have a media production degree. That's a little bit about me. JD, tell me.
I mean, I'm literally the polar opposite of you. You spent all these years in education, university, got qualifications, and you made it. You made the whole company on your own. I didn't even finish uni. I think I did sixth form and just went, all right, well, that's it for me. I'm going to go get a job. And I ended up doing volunteer works.
Yeah.
And they offered, like, hey, do you want to help build a set?
Mm-hmm.
I said, yeah, sure, why not, go for it. Built a set, and they said, listen, some of our actors have dropped out, do you want to jump in? I said, well, yeah, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
And I got great reviews.
Yeah.
And that was it, then I was hooked. Did more pantomimes, I did a lot of pantomimes.
Yeah.
And I've just been doing all these things. I've been doing musical tours, I've been doing short films, and even gone on TV a few times. Nothing major, sadly, yet. But then eventually, like you say, mutual friend of ours said, hey, you're looking for acting work, aren't you, JD? And I was like, yeah, sure. Well, my friend Tom here, he's finishing uni, he needs a hand. I said, yeah, sure. And for some reason, everyone went, oh, you're so experienced, you know what you're doing. I went, uh-huh.
Yes.
As an actor, I will act like I know what I'm doing. Yeah, sure, go for it.
I think that's why our partnership works quite well, because you've got your experience on one side of the camera and I got my experience on the other side of the camera, so we can actually give both perspectives, which is quite nice, especially when it comes to like tutorials and stuff. If we start trying to teach people how to film a emotional sequence, right? I know how to film it camera wise, I don't know how to act it. You do, right? It's great. Yeah, it's like the perfect partnership, I guess. So we kind of bounce off each other really well.
Because you've tried teaching me recently on how, like, lenses and such, like how to dismantle a camera and set it all up. And I'm sat there going, why do you need so many lenses for one camera?
Help.
Shouldn't just one lens zoom in and that's it?
Nope.
No, God, no.
We've got to make it look nice, Alex. God.
And I'm praying somewhere deep down in my soul. It's like, please, I hope one day I have to explain my side of the camera to you, and it's just as confusing. I hope it's really hard, because I can't understand directing for the life of me. Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, whenever I went to do anything media related, I've always never had an intention of being in front of the camera, ever. I always get put off by it. I don't know what it is. I think it's just the idea of acting, being someone that's not me as such. I'm not really a fan of that. I get a bit too embarrassed, I guess. I'm one of those people who's quite introverted. I don't really like going out and speaking about myself and all that jazz. And I was really bad when I was in school. So when I was in like primary school, secondary school, I used to be that one who never spoke in class. I actually, funny enough, every year from reception, right, all the way through to my last parents' evening, every year, without fail, one teacher always told me that I need to speak more in class. Always. Like, straight up always. Because I was quiet. I was way too quiet.
It's funny you say that, because we're going on about how we're polar opposites. I was the same way.
Yeah.
I was bullied, so I just didn't even want to speak.
Well, yeah.
But I don't like being in front of people, so to speak, because I feel like, I'm not supposed to be in front of people. As soon as the camera turns on, it's aimed at me properly. It's meant to be. I'm like, well, I'm meant to be here. Sure, I will behave like this. Yeah. I'll say the thing I'm meant to say.
Yeah.
It's like, in my off time, I've done security work. I can never do that beforehand. But the second they give you that little badge and that license, and everyone knows you're a security guard, man, power goes straight to your head. You're like, you can't do anything now.
That's it, then, isn't it?
It's the same principle. As soon as you feel like you're meant to be doing it, lights just click on, and you're meant to be. You just go. I can't explain it past that.
Yeah.
I can explain the science on how to do it. But to get someone motivated and to feel, no, you're supposed to do this, is probably one of the hardest things I can't verbally communicate.
Yeah, it's that first push, isn't it? I guess it's what when I was head boy at my secondary school. When I went to sixth form, and I never even thought to myself public speaking wouldn't be a thing that I'd like to do ever.
I'm pretty sure I cried the first time I had to publicly speak.
Well, yeah, exactly. And I was like so nervous, stood up in front of like 500 people and thought, oh my God, I'm going to give a speech here to get this. And I panicked really hard. But then once I get over that first line, everything just kind of fell in place. And I think it's that notion that you need to get over, especially when, I guess, like acting, when stage performing, when doing anything in life, really.
Yeah.
It's that first step. And as soon as you get over that first step, everything can.
Yeah, I mean, like, stage acting, like pantomimes, easily is a better place to start, because with film, there's not an audience, but everyone is waiting on you, and there's just that pressure, because you can fail and you need to start again. With pantomime, no, you mess up, you keep going, you gotta own that mess up. You mess up your lines? No, just acknowledge it. Make fun of yourself for that one moment.
Yeah.
Keep them laughing. Don't ever stop.
Mm-hmm.
And then as soon as you finish the scene, you look to your left or your right and you see the director and he looks furious. You don't really know if he is furious or not. Yeah. And then you come off stage and he goes, "That's fantastic. Good job."
Yeah. One day it will work out and then another day it won't, I guess.
Especially if you're doing the same show repeatedly over and over.
Yeah.
But by that time, as soon as you've done the first go, that first scene, that's it. You're flying. You're gliding.
Mm-hmm. I remember my older brother, he had this stage show. He did Hobson's Choice, it was. And he won an award for it, actually, as the best support actor, I think, or best... I don't know what it was. It was an award he won for it. And he was saying how there was, it's always frustrating when he misses a line or when he messes something up slightly, but it always gets ironed out eventually by, you can either have somebody else on the stage with you can clean up the mess dead quickly, or you can have yourself clean up the mess by picking up another line straight away, or there's always a way in which you can rescue yourself as long as you don't let the nerves take over or the upset take over.
It only becomes a problem or a mistake when the audience acknowledges it's a mistake.
Yeah.
You can acknowledge it and it'll be fine. Just keep speaking. Just make it sound like it's normal.
Yeah.
And as long as the audience doesn't click, you're fine.
I mean, if you make a mistake on the first show, you have 5 more shows left to iron it out, I guess. So unless you keep making the same mistake every single time.
I can name people who have done that. Myself being one of them.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just can't get one word right.
Yeah.
Every single take, you're trying to say this one phrase and you just kind of mumble and you flubs.
Absolutely. I have a lot of respect for acting. I could never do it myself. I'm very appreciative of people who actually come for auditions and all that jazz. I find it really, really flattering that people actually apply for stuff that I put up, especially the weirdest thing. I don't know if you had your own short films made before.
Once, but we didn't cast for it because we had everyone on hand at the time of shooting.
So
that was years back.
I don't know if you noticed, but when it's actually done and it's actually out there and people can watch it, the weirdest thing is thinking, "Hey, I wrote all that," and they're actually speaking it.
Yeah.
But I wrote it. It's really weird. I know
it's like the first steps to a god complex where you're like, "I made this. I made this world.
Yeah, this is mine. This is mine." It's a strange thing. And that's why I'm always really flattered when people apply for stuff and we come to auditions and they read through the lines like, "Oh my god, I wrote that line," and they're looking to me to
look. It's forming. It's becoming a thing.
Yeah, and they're trying for me. And like, well, why are you trying for me? I just wrote it, but then I wrote it. So that's kind of their career. Their career is the same as mine, the same as yours. Where everyone's trying to get their CV. Ready to get to a certain point in life where they can apply for bigger things,
especially starting out with acting. It's like being a hungry Wolverine. You will take any role you can get. I've had questionable roles that like when you asked me what is your experience, I went, I've been on a TV and this and that, and you asked me what roles, I went, let's not, because I don't want you looking them up and going, "Oh wow, he looks very weird out of clothes for that one scene."
I remember when we were doing Hunted, I said to Ella, "You can send JD to casting if you want, but I don't think he looks like someone who we'd cast, to be honest. He looks a bit too..."
Oh, you haven't told me this part.
No, I've not told you this, no. I said to her, I think he looks too stage. And the way in which you're speaking to me on Messenger and stuff, I was thinking, this is not going to be good, this. So I remember Ella actually said to me, "Oh, well, yeah, he played a terrorist once."
Yeah, that's one of the roles where I don't like to bring it up because... what are some of your biggest things? Well, I was a member of ISIS on TV one time.
I mean...
And then everyone just goes, "What?"
Yeah. And I was thinking, well, we've got to cast him now, haven't we? let's have a look at him. It was a good decision, to be fair.
Yeah, because now you've got me here on this whole venture.
That's it. So, yeah, I think that's...
never say never.
A little bit of inside information about us, I guess.
Yeah, as individuals.
Good and bad, and a bit of both. So,
how did you get here?
What do we intend this podcast to do? I guess educate. We can learn about new things. Next week, I'm going to be talking about the art of cinema and how Scorsese kind of beat down Marvel and said that it's not true cinema. We'll have a look at that, decide what we think. I've seen The Irishman. Have you seen The Irishman yet?
No, I haven't.
That's your homework for this week. Watch The Irishman.
I didn't sign up for this to get homework.
So long, but it's worth watching, honestly. Are you into gangster films?
It's alright.
All right.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Peaky Blinders, but you know, I can respect it. I've seen clips to go, no, that is actually really well made.
I absolutely love Peaky Blinders. I'm a big fan of gangsters.
A lot of people like Peaky Blinders.
Yeah.
A lot of people keep telling me to
area
watch
as well.
it.
I mean, from Liverpool as well, because it's filmed in Liverpool, isn't it? So people like to look and see. Oh, look, I've been there. You know, I've been to Port Sunlight. You know, where it's all the posh scenes are shot. And it's nice that it can go on a little drive and see where the whole thing's been filmed. You can actually, you can't drive on the street that it's filmed, but you can drive past it and see into the street when they're not shooting, obviously.
I don't know about you, but it's annoying on the acting side because my mum, my nan, and a lot of people from my hometown all keep telling me, you know, you should turn up to that bar where they film Peaky Blinders and just see if you can get something.
Yeah, no,
it's
it doesn't quite work like that.
No, I see what you're getting. You know, there's all those stories of like so-and-so who's been at a bar and just had a conversation.
Yeah.
I'm not going to hunt down people and be like, yo, give me a role though.
I mean, the people who can actually make a career are usually sat in an office somewhere in London.
Exactly.
So, yeah, it's not going to happen. But yeah, that's next week. The week after, we'll be talking about something else. We're basically going to pick a topic per week, whether it's to do with a specific film or a scene in a film, or it's to do with a style of film or a particular person that's influenced film. Whatever we choose that week, we'll talk about in depth, have a little discussion, I guess.
See where it takes us.
Yeah, so if you've come along and listened all the way to the end of our Journey in Voices, I really do appreciate it.
That being said, it's not to limit us down to saying, you know, we'll just talk about one thing or another.
Yeah.
We also want to give updates as to what we're doing, not personally, but within Worthit Productions.
Yeah.
Like currently we've got a short film under production called Interview.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, we haven't started filming that yet.
Yeah.
By next week, we more than likely will have. So we'll have something to go on there. We'll have something to share some insights.
Yeah.
And then when it's actually finished, it's been out and you can see the whole thing in all of its glory of however long it may be, we can go into more depth so we're not giving spoilers or ins and outs.
Yeah, absolutely. Excellent. So yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe for more content. Obviously, there'll be multiple series coming out very, very soon. If you do want to have a look at more content, I guess, to have a look at our show reel and stuff like that will be available on the website. Just have a look at the link in the description below. Thank you very much for watching and listening.
Oh, thank you for having us.
And thank you, JD, as well.
Well, I'm not going to say thank you back because you almost didn't cast me that first time that made our entire career. So
that's it.
No, thank you for having me, Tom. It's always a pleasure.
Goodbye.
Bye.